Today we're painting a gift. Let's be creative. Hey there, it's Ashley Krieger. Welcome to the 11th day of Createful Christmas. 12 art projects that we get to create together. Well, today we get to wrap another gift. We gotta paint it, it's better. Are you ready? Let's get started. You will need a canvas, acrylic paint, palette, water, paintbrushes, watercolor pencil, paper towel, and a ruler. Step 1. Sketch gift. Begin by using your watercolor pencil to sketch the gift. You can erase any unwanted lines with water. Use your ruler to draw a straight horizontal line about an inch above the bottom of the canvas. Use your ruler to draw a large square on top of that line. Make sure the square is centered on the canvas. Be sure to leave enough room at the top of the square for the large bow. Draw 2 vertical parallel lines in the middle of the gift for the ribbon. It should look like a tall rectangle. The ribbon is almost the same thickness as the left and right sides of the present. Find the center of the ribbon. Draw a line from the top corners to the center of each side of the ribbon. Do the same from the bottom corners. Notice the triangle shapes these lines make? Add a bow by drawing a square with rounded corners centered on top of the large square and centered on the ribbon. The rest of the ribbon is made of irregular shapes. Don't draw the first bow that comes to your mind. The trick to drawing this bow is seeing the irregular shapes and then drawing how you see them and where they are located. On the right side, the first shape overlaps the upper right corner of the present and also extends above the knot of the bow. The next step is to add a loop. Ask yourself, how big is this loop compared to the shapes around it? Continue drawing your bow going from one shape to the next, comparing each shape with each other and my painting. In the end, if you look at the bow as just shapes, it will come together to actually look like a bow. Step 2. Paint background. To paint the background, I use black, my 2 reds, and my phthalo green. Black is a neutral color, but I want the background to be rich and unified. So I'll mix red with the black to create 2 warm blacks and another black with phthalo green for a cool black color. Red and green are complementary colors, which will add unity to the painting. I paint the 2 blacks overlapping and meeting each other. On the background, I need to paint at least 2 layers since the paint is quite transparent. I block in the shapes of the present with my wide flat brush. I use the greenish black paint and paint a horizontal line under the present. This will be used as an undertone. Step 3. Paint foreground. I add white to my palette and brown to create a tan color. Using my wide flat brush, I spread the tan paint from side to side. Like the background, I want some texture in the foreground. Step 4. Paint gift. Next, I'll begin painting the gift. I add blue to my palette and mix it with white to create a light blue. Then I create gray with the black and white. I use this paint to add shadowy areas on my white present. I make sure to go over the corners of the paper. Under the bow that hangs over the present on the right, there will be a shadow from it. The closer the bow to the present, the darker the shadow area should be. The right side has more shadow area than the left, so some of the gray will cover more area. There is also shadow on the right side of the ribbon, and this is not gray. I use my black and red mix. Step 5. Paint ribbon and bow. Next, we'll paint the ribbon and bow a rich red color. We start by painting layers in the darkest areas of the bow and ribbon. The white part of the present needs another layer of shadow areas. This will help it look realistic and three-dimensional. The bottom of the edges of the gift needs some more blue as well as some gray. I use both of these colors to give the white present more interest. For the darker areas on the bow, I will mix black and red. I have already painted the side of the ribbon. Now I need to work on the bow. I block the darker shapes. There are dark spots in certain areas of the bow. The light source is from above the gift coming from the left, so we have shadows under the shapes and in the cracks and crevices. The next layer is my mid color and is pure red paint. With acrylic paint, I use layering to blend the colors. If I want my red to blend into my darker red, I just add an overlayer of red and then it blends the two tones together. Notice where I add the red. This should cover the largest area of the ribbon, since the ribbon is red. I give the red to some areas of the bow, adding one more layer to brighten the color. The next layer is the highlights, so I add no red to the highlighted areas. See how the bow begins to look three-dimensional with the shadow areas and the different red tones? Step 6. Paint highlights. Finally, I'll add finishing touches and highlights to the gift, the ribbon, and the bow. I mix yellow with my red to get a lighter red and a brighter one as well. I add the color to the highlighted areas. Notice how it changed the contrast in the bow? I want the bow to be red, so the highlighted areas would not be white. But I still want the bow to stand out, so to fix this, I add the complementary color to the highlighted areas. Red's complementary color is green. I'm going to use the phthalo green and add white to it to get a mint color. With my thin brush, I add highlights to my bow in just small places like the edge of the ribbon, vertical short lines on my knot, and the edges of the bow. I also increase the contrast by adding darker areas on the bow that I feel need to be a little bit darker. Notice how the green color makes the bow stand out a little more. It also brings unity to the piece. I add some of the green to the black background color as well. You can hardly see it, but it makes a difference in creating a rich and unified feel to the painting. Look, you finished your gift, but this one always comes wrapped. Sign your work and feel proud of what you created. Thanks for painting with me. As always, have fun being creative. Thanks for liking, commenting, and subscribing to Createful Art. Be sure to head on over to createfulart.com and sign up for the Createful Art newsletter to receive more lessons, art tips, and fun stuff to help you be creative. Follow me on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook at Createful Art. Also, you can help me make more videos like this by clicking the Support This Channel button below. See you next time for the final lesson in the 12 Days of Createful Christmas, when we paint a jolly old Saint Nicholas. You can find that lesson and the snowman from the previous lesson by clicking on the links on the screen. You can also find links to all the previous Createful Christmas lessons in the description below. See you next time!